What is your take on the application layer?
So from a public company perspective, it's a lot more competitive and it's a lot harder to create differentiated business models. To Paulo's point, there are a lot of ideas, there are a lot of opportunities, but to find a business model that will generate value over time, it's not that easy to do. So we are seeing a lot of opportunities in cybersecurity, for example, where that's an application that's really critical. It's not easy to do. It's not going to be easy to be replaced by an in-house AI agent, right? You do need a professional company that's building this agent. So they are benefiting from using AI internally. That would be one area where it's not only value add, but you can also create a business that can generate durable value. The challenge has been more on the side of like all of these companies like CRM systems, for example. They have a really strong opportunity to capture and use these AI agents to help their customers attract or target better audiences, but they're not doing it yet. So there is a chance for a disruptor to come in and really disrupt this business model with a new type of CRM system that does it better rather than rebuilding something that already exists. So the question is like, how much do you value the installed base? Because that's valuable, right? They've already penetrated the market. Exactly, the distribution versus the solution itself. Because the solutions that they're offering today, they're not quite in line with what's possible.
I agree. And where will be the moat? I think in the case of Higgsfield, the moat will be because you're not only creating the videos, but you're also measuring the ROI of the videos in real life, tagging them, and you control the data. The data doesn't go back to, Google or ByteDance or Anthropic. It stays with them. And that's where the value should reside, because that data is yours, is proprietary. That's going to be used to further improve the efficiency of the creation of the video. And the efficiency has to do with what kind of scene should you have, or which model should you use for this simple thing that costs you less. It's both cost and quality. You got to optimize for both. And with that loop and you controlling that data, I think there is a case for you to have economic profit on top of that solution. Because you're going to have gross margins that are like maybe 40-50%, because you still got to pay all the API calls for the models, no doubt about it. But you can still create value on top because you have something that other people don't have. On other application layers would be because you're so embedded in the process flow of the client.
Like, give an example.
For example, Valor. We have CRM systems. We have systems of record. Our CRM system, we kind of used one that we liked but didn't love. And the team created a new CRM system from scratch for our own purpose, connected to our emails and etc., using Claude. It took them a weekend. And it's much better than we had before. It's not perfect, but much better. And risks of creating that was low, because if you make a mistake, you might lose a client, but it's not like death for you.
Yeah.
And then the team got excited and said, we want to rebuild our system of record for controlling and accounting of the funds. We have 30-something entities, and we use iLevel from S&P 500. And I said, no way you guys are doing that. Why? Because if you make a mistake, now you're talking about people's money, and the consequences of that mistake is much higher if we have the wrong price per share for the LPs, or we're marking things the wrong way, or we're not setting the right IR calculation and the MOI calculation to investors. That is our source of truth. That I don't want you guys to even bother with. Go build some other stuff, that system of record. It might not be the best in the world, but it works, and the cost of making a mistake is too high. I think every business in the world goes through a similar kind of situation. What are the things where you can make mistakes, so you take some risk by creating tools from scratch using all the AI tools, versus what are the systems that you absolutely cannot screw up? Because otherwise the entire company goes down, which includes cybersecurity, by the way. You don't want to really run a risk with cyber. This is why vibe coding for enterprise is stupid, because you cannot give any employee the ability to create a new app on the App Store for a large enterprise, and that app be a source of failure for cybersecurity. It has to be tested for that. Whatever goes through a cyber risk goes through a different type of risk appetite. Whatever doesn't really go through that, then you can play with it. That's how I would probably think about it. And you see more adoption and faster adoption in things with less consequences for mistakes. And you see slower adoption in things that have high consequences for mistakes in any kind of business.